Compass Rose, SeaHunter.
Hey, come on.
What do you say, brother?
Just out here playing in the water.
I got you. It looks like a pretty day.
It is absolutely out here.
Any wahoo action going on? It looks pretty calm. Looks like a good day for it.
Definitely it's going to happen. There's some tunas popping here in 250.
All right, brother. I'm down for my birthday, so it's kind of a gift to myself. I'm going to go fishing.
Have a good day, brother. Have fun tearing it up. Some of the best times I ever had was fishing by myself.
Mine too. That's why I'm doing it. I'll give you a shout when we get in, brother.
Okay, man.
You know, throughout the year, I'm fishing 280 days a year, whether I'm filming TV shows or I'm fishing with customers or I'm fishing tournaments. There's usually a lot of pressure involved. You know, I have to entertain people, or I have to compete, or I have to make sure that we get the footage we need. Every once in a while, it takes me back to my roots of fishing. When I learned the fishing game, it's nice to just go out and enjoy it by yourself. It's you against the sea.
Man, this looks good. There's got to be some fish on this somewhere.
You know, honestly, leaving the dock, I was in Key West. Leaving the dock, I didn't have a set plan. I took rods for many different situations, and I just ran out to the edge to see what it looked like. Had a good edge, a little weed line, started trolling a little bit just to see if there was something on it. Did that for a while, not much happening, decided to run south, look at some bottom fish a little bit, try and catch some snappers for dinner.
I'm thinking about putting an anchor out. It's kind of this is a big shoal, big rocky shoal. And right on the other side of, right where it comes off, there's a big deep swell. It's like 60 feet deep. Get right on that edge. Maybe chum. And get some of these ballyhoos up for bait. I can throw the cast net. See what happens.
You know, after fishing for a while, I decided to run out to the edge of the Gulf. The Gulf, in general, is like a slow plateau. It's very flat, and it slowly drops off about a foot a mile. There's not a lot of bottom structure. The Atlantic has a reef, a real hard edge. There's a huge drop off. The Gulf doesn't have that. So anytime you come across structure like a wreck or a tower or any type of ledge, it's going to hold fish. And a wreck this big is going to hold a lot of fish and a lot of different species of fish.
Take that to the Perry where we're staying. Chef to cook it up.
You know, I use the sea as my office. I'm out there most days, but it never fails to amaze me in the beauty that sometimes you come across. Doesn't matter how often you go, all the things you get to see, you still see something that just is striking, and it's memorable, and you never forget it. It's a beautiful day. I'm going fishing on my birthday, and one of the first things I come across is literally acres of spinner dolphin. This wasn't just a dolphin sighting. This was a dolphin adventure, and I was part of it. You know, I think a wreck out in the middle of the Gulf is, if you could imagine when they built Las Vegas, the first high-rises and casinos in Las Vegas, you drive for miles and don't see anything but desert. Then all of a sudden, here's these giant buildings and establishments. That's what a wreck is to the fish when they come across one in the Gulf. This is a big wreck, maybe 30, 40 feet long with about 20 feet of relief. Relief being that's how high it sticks up off the bottom. You have bait fish, small snappers, blue runners, and it just works up the food chain. Cobias, tunas, giant Goliath groupers, you name it. If it lives in the Gulf, it's there.
What's that? It's a cobia. You see him anywhere?
No, he went under the boat. Is that him?
Yeah. He got it. Yeah, baby. My favorite fish to catch on the wrecks in the Gulf. Get in there. I need my gaff. I thought it was in here, but I don't see it. Look on the other side, Taylor. Same hatch, other side.
You know, cobia happens to be one of my favorite fish to catch, one of my favorite fish to eat, one of my favorite fish to fight on a rod and reel. The one thing about a cobia that you can guarantee, no matter when he comes up, how tired he is, when you get ready to gaff one, they wake up. They're one of the most powerful fish on a gaff that you'll ever experience. And this one was no exception.
Well, that was a You almost won the battle, baby, but not quite. Whew. God, I love this. It's been a while since I had a gaff taken out of my hand. We're gonna eat good tonight, boy. First fish I see on the wreck's cobia. It's awesome. He's going in the box. He can't get away now. Good job, bro. That was a team effort there.
You know, I was looking forward to spending the day by myself, but I did take my buddy Taylor along to document everything. He's one of my favorite cameramen, and there was times when it was helpful.
Almost feels like an African. That color, I just can't tell what it is yet. Big jack. Big crevalle. Bunch of cooters just chased him up. It's not what I was hoping for, but it was fun to catch. Let's see what else lives out there. Damn. Nice yellowtail. I don't expect to catch a yellowtail with wire. Usually pretty damn leader shy.
Yeah, the tough part occasionally is to get that day away, from the family and explain to your wife. But I got to do it. It's something that I've always done. It's the way I learned how to fish, and it gets me back right again.
Nice mangrove. Trying to catch bait, but I'll take that.
Guaranteed, you hook a great fish that you want to take home for dinner. If there's a bunch of kudos around, right before you get them in the boat, the tax man's going to come pay 'em. Barracudas, whether they're inshore or offshore, I consider a great game fish. They're very aggressive, spectacular strikes. Once hooked, big drag, screaming runs, they jump. They pretty much do everything that you want a fish to do. Some consider them not so much of a trophy fish. I disagree. The barracuda seems like the evil knight that sits off in the dark corner, just waiting for the lonely Nemo to make a mistake. He's there, and he'll appear when that mistake happens.
Nice lane snapper.
Though today's show, the theme of it was me being by myself, I had a camera boat. I had cameramen follow me around. If you actually are going to go out in the ocean by yourself, especially way offshore, you got to be careful. You should wear a life jacket. You should have an EPIRB. You should make sure your radio works if you have issues. But most importantly, while you're out there, while you're trolling, while you're fishing, you got to understand that one wrong move, one wrong wave knocks you out of this boat. You may not come home. So you got to be careful if you go by yourself. I've had friends trolling, boats in gear, they make a wrong move, they run to the back of the boat to grab a rod or grab a fish that's on. Boat turns sideways, they're out of the boat, they find their boat 100 miles away, and they're lucky that somebody found them.
Oh, that sucks.
I think one of the enticements of fishermen around the world is we all have a fish story or fish stories. I have many fish stories of the big one that got away. And it's this, especially when it's you as the angler and you hook something and you feel the power, you know it's a giant fish. You may not know what it is, and it gets away. And the fact that you never got to see it, you never got to ID what this monster is, keeps you coming back day after day.
Damn it. That's a good fish there. Come on, baby. Stay on. Let me see you. Coming now. Got color. Nice gag. That was a big red. Dang. Nice red. Oh, yeah. That was fun. On a jig, no bait.
Vertical jigging in the fishing world today is, most anglers consider it modern. It's really not. I mean, it goes back 30, 40 years. Guys used to take spoons and let them drop to the bottom and vertical jig them. Now there are actually jigs that are developed for this exact technique. You drop the jig to the bottom. Today's braid, you can use very, very small line diameter, so it allows you to use a smaller jig. The jig hits the bottom, you reel it up a couple feet, and really erratically jig this thing 15, 20 feet off the bottom, drop it back down. Groupers, snappers, cobias, tunas. There's not too many fish that swim in the sea that you can't catch jigging. Some people need companionship, all the time. They need somebody to talk to. I'm not that guy. I sometimes, I enjoy being with friends, I enjoy being with customers, and I enjoy the experiences that I get to share with other people. But at the same time, sometimes it's cool to just be out there and take it all in by yourself, uninterrupted. You take it all in, the sounds, the sights, the feel, the senses. They all come out when you're by yourself. One thing I do enjoy about, especially when I'm in Key West, is occasionally taking home a snapper or two for dinner. In the particular place I was staying at the Perry Hotel, they have an awesome chef, an awesome restaurant. I don't have to cook. It's my birthday after all. Have a great fish dinner.
Poor little ones. Perfect. Me and Pete will be drunk walking out here.